Simple, basic question, but what did it feel like walking in there? Whatever the first day you were down there was, and did you get? I guess you got your number back. I don't know if you had to pay Bruhan off, but you get your old locker back. Does it feel the same? Does it feel weird? Does it feel a little everything?
Yeah, I've been asked that question a lot, and it's really cool. Coming to spring training, not having to put the stadium in my GPS. I didn't even really have to obviously didn't have to use GPS to get down here from Tampa. The familiarity, the comfort is amazing. There's some new players or new faces on the player side, but the staff is pretty much the same. And they've added to it. They've, some guys have graduated from the minor leagues on the staff side. And it's, really cool to see that they've been in the big leagues and very professional these last 2 years. So many great resources here now that weren't here before. But it's kind of a cool dynamic. I'm kind of seeing there's some younger guys who have some admiration for me, but I have a lot of admiration for what these guys have done these last 2 years. So it's a really nice balance. These guys have way more playoff experience than me. They've been to the World Series. They have tons of innings now, tons of at-bats. I was talking to Willie yesterday. I'm like, dude, Willie, I knew you when you were 20 years old. You're 25 now. You're not the kid. You're the adult. You're not, you know what I mean? So it's just cool to see that. And there's a lot of mutual respect for all parties here.
Gotcha. Did you end up with your old locker? I was just curious. Do you remember?
I'm in my original locker from 2011, whenever I was right next to David Price. So, but yes, at the Trop, I got that corner spot again. The DP and the Alex Cobb and the, I guess, my old locker now too. I think Charlie Morton was in there. He took my place. He occupied the condo for a little bit. I'm moving back in.
Yeah. No, it's a good talker spot too. Those are all guys who do pretty much good interviews. So we appreciate that as well.
Thank you.
And then just, I know it was only like a couple weeks ago when you signed and we talked to you, but as far as physically, it's always different when you're working out on your own versus when you get in the team atmosphere routine. Do you have a feel for where you are, and do you think you'll be kind of on schedule or a little behind, or just how is that part of it going?
I think I'm completely on time with what I've discussed with the guys prior to getting here. They wanted me to get back on my feet and, get back on the dirt mounds and maybe have an extra bullpen or two. But as far as we're going, targeting the first week in March for my first start. It's penciled in. There's going to be room for, different things that may pop up. But I'm on schedule. I'm a full participant in spring training, just like we talked about. And I'm really excited to work with Snods. We didn't get too much time together before, only half a season. He was new, and I mentioned this before. There's been such maturation on the coaching staff side. He's worked with a lot of older players now, so the approach has been great. He was sending me videos of myself pitching and some different things from before I even got here, and we've had great discussions. So long-winded, but yes, I'm full go, no issues, and I'm really, really excited to get out there.
Arch, I think Cash said you came in maybe looking a little bit bigger, a little bit more built, more fuerte than Flacco, if you will. Is that intentional on your part? Is that something you kind of worked on, or is Cash just kind of being nice?
No, I usually come to camp around 195, 196. This year I was at 202. So yeah, five good pounds. And also knowing that once I got to spring training, conditioning would probably start going up, because I'm fully healthy now. I don't have any restrictions. Conditioning would start ramping up. So I might shed a few of those, but yeah, strength was a big part of my rehab. Being strong with good mechanics leads to being healthy. So yeah, I added a couple good pounds on, and looking forward to sustaining throughout the whole season.
Can you feel that off the mound, just in the times that you've thrown bullpens or anything, the strength behind that, or the arm speed, even if it's just from being healthy, more so than the additional strength and everything?
Yeah, I haven't. being in a game is so much different. I could probably answer that question for you after my first live BP and first couple games. But just from an overall health perspective, it feels really, really good not to be thinking about how to manipulate my body to avoid soreness or achiness or whatever might be going on. That definitely feels really good.
Kind of a dumb question, but what did you do last year? I mean, we know how tough it was for people in the baseball bubble, but to be a baseball person outside of that and away from it, how did you handle that? And what was your day-to-day like?
Yeah, honestly, that's not a dumb question. I haven't been asked that question yet. Last year was tough. I think the reason why I have so much gratitude and how I've matured is because I had to sit out. I would do my PT. I was in California. I couldn't be with the team, so they were either in Altoona, the AA, that was their alternate site, or Pittsburgh. And since I wasn't going to play, there was no reason to have me around. They trusted the physical therapist that I was using, so I just stayed in California. And I was, I didn't have housing, so I was staying in a hotel for probably 2 to 3 months, and watching so much baseball and missing the hell out of the game. And each day that went by, and as my health got better, I continued to get hungrier and hungrier. So I'm sitting there learning, but I'm also eager because I'm like, damn, like I really miss the camaraderie, the communal, even though it was weird being isolated by yourself. I'm not with family. Like, I'm going to PT with my physical therapist for 4 or 5 hours a day. And then I'm going home, and at 3 o'clock, I'm home. I'm setting up to watch 3 or 4 games a night. I watched Pittsburgh, obviously, every single pitch that was thrown. I watched Tampa a lot. I watched a bunch of good pitchers like Darvish and Bauer. I watched those guys a lot. Walker Buehler. And then the late games, I would watch San Diego and I would watch San Francisco a lot, just because, I didn't have anything else to do, so I was just studying the game. And like I said, my gratitude obviously comes from, being healthy and being grateful for health, but also just the opportunity to do what we do. And I'm so happy, excited, grateful, all those words.
Were you with Zach Ray? Is that still the?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's LA-ish?
Yeah. He's like probably 40 minutes outside of LA. And okay. I was staying in a hotel just a few miles down the road from him.
Did you have like a group with PT or anything, or, rehabbing guys or anything like that?
No, because that was pretty early on with Corona. And I was trying to be mindful, even though unfortunately I wasn't able to avoid it. But I was trying to be mindful of, myself, other people, other people's people. So it was very, very isolated, one-on-one, not too many people in the clinic at a time, and just maximized it.
Chris, who was most helpful to you during that whole period mentally? Were there certain players or ex-teammates you texted with, called, that helped you kind of get through that whole period, or was it a lot on your own?
It's no fault of anyone's, but when you're rehabbing outside, away from the team, especially with everything that was going on, like, people aren't checking in that often because they have so many other things to deal with. So loved ones, that's really the ones that really helped me get where I got and helped me stay positive. And it was, a lot of it was on my PT. There were tears of sadness, and tears of joy, tears of frustration, and tears of happiness, especially towards the end of the off season, whenever I was, throwing bullpens again and playing catch freely and throwing 150, 180 feet with no issues and getting off the mound and, executing pitches. And there was a lot of joy at the end. The beginning was tough though, like I said, with the injury, being isolated, but loved ones, man. And I'm super grateful for the people I have in my life.
And you mentioned the growth the Rays have had. They did not have Justin Sua when you were here. What kind of benefit can he be to you, do you think, in terms of your overall growth? Because I know how important you look at the mental game.
Yeah. I followed him from afar. I saw some things that he posted on social media. I saw some things that the Rays put on social media, and it looked really cool. I thought that it was great that they have that position now, because like you said, Neil, they didn't have that position before. I think it's vital. I think it's been a big part of their success. And he's such a cool, chill dude. He he's not trying to overanalyze things. He played baseball. He knows how hard the game is. But at the same time, he loves to read, and he loves the process, the in the moment process. And we've already had some great conversations. And I'm looking forward to converse with him. I shot him a DM or a message on Twitter when I first signed. I was like, I'm looking forward to collabing with you. And that's the cool thing about everything that's going on with Tampa now. It feels like one big collaboration from Cash, Snyder, the front office, the training staff, the strength staff, the biomechanists, the analytics guys, the analytics team. It feels like one big collaboration. When I was here before, a lot of these things were new. A lot of these people were new. They weren't as comfortable engaging, but now the engagement's great. It's also a new wave of player that's a little more open-minded. I'm more open-minded myself. So I love everything that's going on here. And I can't remember if it was Topper or Adam that said, like it kind of feels old but new at the same time. Like I knew what I was getting myself into, but there are some new things that have been advanced that I really appreciate.
Hey, Chris, what led you to, and I should know this, why did you go to LA to rehab, and why did you stay out there?
Good question, Top. I think the biggest thing was I just wanted to change it up after I got traded. I had been in St. Pete for a long time. I had developed a lot of really good relationships, a lot of really good resources, but I found that a lot of my resources were through the team. I was doing a lot of my strength training, all my throwing, a lot of my PT rehab stuff was at the Trop in the off season. It was convenient. And then I realized that I didn't have as many of those anymore. And I knew LA was like the land of resources for health and wellness. Plus the weather's unbelievable. I love the Malibu area with the beaches and the mountains that connect to each other. So you have the hiking, you have the beaches. I appreciate nature a lot more now. I'm not saying like I'm the biggest nature appreciator, but I have an appreciation for those things because that's one thing, Neil, that helped me get through rehab as well. Being out in nature and just like being with my own thoughts and realizing like, look, I am injured. I am away from people, but I do have a lot of opportunity. I do have life. There's a lot of things I don't have to worry about. So I guess to answer the question, I had all these resources here in Tampa. And then when I left, I didn't really have them as much anymore. I went out there, found a great place to live, found a great chef, found a great place to train, and I love it out there.
So you actually moved out there before the TOS surgery?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I spent the off season after the 2019 season there.
Okay, I missed that part of it. And then you mentioned you had COVID. When did you have it, and how bad was it?
COVID wasn't too bad for me. It was more the fact that I was in a hotel and I had to stay in a hotel room. If you own a home, you can go outside, get some vitamin D, and that really helps with your mood. But I was stuck in a room with no balcony. Right. Granted, it was a Four Seasons. Like it was 5-star, but like I didn't have like,
right.
Again, you develop appreciation for like just being able to like stick your head out. I was trying to peek my head out the window, like that opens up barely in a hotel. But again, like you get time to yourself. You can either stay distracted or you can just reflect and be like, okay, look, I do have COVID. I'm not the healthiest that I've ever been right now, but there are a lot of things that I can be grateful for. And my mom was calling me like 3 or 4 times a day. Cause again, at that time, like we weren't too sure, like how younger people are affected and, the long lasting effects. I know a couple guys in baseball had the heart condition that went along with it. And my mom was worried about that. She was worried about the lungs and everything. But for me, it was more or less like the traditional flu. But I was able to get through it and, happy that I still have the antibodies in my system right now.
Gotcha. Just roughly, when was that?
That was August.
So after the surgery, while you were recovering from the surgery out in LA, gotcha. And I just have one other question for you, just maybe a little lighter note, but like, have you talked to Glasnow yet? And you think Glasnow, Meadows, and you guys will take a group picture, the four of you or anything, or Boz?
Yeah, don't forget Boz, man. We haven't taken the group photo yet. Meadows' first day, I think, is today. But yeah, actually, so I reached out whenever things were official, but hadn't been dropped publicly yet. I reached out to Cole Tucker, my former teammate who's very close friends with Glass. I said, "Hey, Cole, can I get Glass's number? I want to hit him up." And 2 minutes later, Glass was texting me, like, before I could even get to him. So yeah, I spoke to Glass immediately. And you hear positive things about people, but you're not sure until you actually get there and you meet these people. But everything that people said about Glass was 100% spot on. Like, he really is that positive of a guy, that hard of a worker, that special of an athlete, special person, very, very outgoing, has a great personality, always smiling. So it was cool to see all the good things I had heard about him. They were completely depicted perfectly.
Gotcha. That sounds. He's a pretty good pitcher too.
Yeah, I mean, he's a special athlete. I mean, the way he's built, the things that he can do on the mound, he's pretty ideal. I mean, if you're drawing up a picture of a major league pitcher, that's probably what they look like. He's strong, he's fast, he throws hard, he has long levers, he's quick twitch. I told him, the first thing I told him was, I can't wait to watch you, like, on the field, watch it on TV special, but seeing it come out of his hand, like in his bullpens and just when he's playing catches, is a special thing to watch.
Gotcha. So fair to say you'll probably talk to Meadows and Boz at some point, and maybe you guys will snap something off there.
Yeah, Boz and I, we've already communicated a little bit too. We've talked, and he seems like a really good kid. It's just crazy how talented the Rays farm system is. All the pitchers are athletes, and all their young position players are super athletic as well. And that's part of the draw in coming back is knowing that not only the 25 to 35 guys that we'll use in the season are good, we're super, super deep too. So if things do happen and somebody needs to step up, like, we got guys ready. The mainstream might not know who they are, but the baseball world definitely knows who they are, and a lot of them are knocking on the door.
Yeah, they got that Wander Franco kid too.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching him play. Honeywell speaks really, really highly of him. And Honeywell is a baseball junkie, so I trust anything he says about a player.
By the way, he referred to you as the new guy yesterday. Honeywell did.
See, I don't like that he's doing that, but it like I said, it kind of feels that way. Because, like, I'm talking to Peter Fairbanks, who I saw, like, dominate in the World Series, and I'm seeing these guys now in person. My locker's right next to Anderson. Obviously, he had a great year last year. So I'm able to talk to these guys about different experiences. They're able to ask me about different experiences as well. So just all in all, like, I kind of feel like the rookie and the vet. Like, it's a Drake lyric, but I feel like there's a little bit of both in there.
Yeah, I knew that Drake lyric.
Mark was going to get there, even if you didn't.
You say that, I think Oliver Drake. See, we still got that little generation.
Oh,
gap.
Okay.
Thanks, Art.
Yeah, no problem.
Anything else for Chris?
I was just going to ask about Cole Tucker's newfound celebrity, but that's probably not a conversation for a recorded Zoom.
I'm happy for the man. I'm happy for the man. I'm happy.
All right. Thanks everyone for.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Art.